Good morning. It's Valerie here. Good morning. I often wonder if I block my mic when I do it this way. Um, I'm just sitting outside my home, enjoying a little bit of the outdoor time. That's my breakfast. It's peanut butter, a bit of maple syrup, and walnuts. And I started my sensory station concepts at home. So we've got the candle station outside. Last night we diffused some oils for some smells. And might as well show you my little puddles. That puddle over there is my devotions for the morning, as well as my journal for a brain dump. And over there is my very dirty iPad. And here I am. I am thinking that those of us who probably have a high capacity, those of us who are driven, those of us who are achievers, those of us who are given to sacrificing our own needs and energies to help others, round about now in this COVID space is when some of those gremlins are coming up to really undermine what is already a challenging time. And some of us are going to be struggling with pride. Yeah, I know I am. The pride of actually thinking that, hang on, wait a minute, but I was built for times like this, right? I'm a tank when it comes to crisis. This is my MO. I'm going to be fine. The thing is, those gremlins are running around in your head, pushing you to actually undermine the very things that you can rely on during these times. And that's where I'm at the moment. I'm actually recognizing that the gremlins are running around in my own head. I'm telling myself things like a good business owner would do this, a good leader would do this, a good psychologist should do this, a good psychologist should know this, a good mother would do this, a good wife would do this, etc., 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 etc. It never ends. And the period of figuring out what to do and how to do life and stuff in the midst of all this chaos is dissipating now to give way to a thing of this could go on for a bit longer. We have no idea when this is going to finish. And I don't know if I've got enough in the tank to pull this off. Isn't that interesting, to pull this off? So yesterday I made the decision to take half a day off, and honestly felt like, good grief, is this really necessary? Do I really need this? Yes, I did. And this morning made the decision to push back one of my meetings to half an hour because I'm going to actually try to squeeze in an unhurried morning. Have you found that in the COVID space that your mind is actually much more hurried? There is like an anxious temperature to the things that we're doing. I wonder whether part of that is because some of us are trying to make the most of this time. Some of us are trying to do the best that we can. And some of us have been dealt with some multiple blows that have been tricky to navigate. And I decided that an unhurried morning and an unhurried presence is probably what's going to be needed for myself this week. Not sure whether this is the case with you. I'm just going back to basics, really. I haven't been actually giving myself the kind of nutrients that I probably require. I probably haven't been having a bunch of fruit this week, I've noticed. Started to reach much more for chocolates and things like that. And so I just wanted to leave you with a thought. Are there any meetings, if you're feeling the same way that I'm feeling, and let me tell you what's on my to-do list. I've still got to keep my eyes on the numbers during this time. It's a daily, weekly dose of looking at the higher order of our numbers as a business. I don't find joy in that. I would much rather do that on a monthly and quarterly basis. We're innovating some projects in the practice. We're also, as a church, trying to figure out how to get music to our older folk. This is our latest thing that we're trying to work out, and it's another new learning curve because I have to tell you, I have a bit of a mental block trying to figure out technology and mechanics and engineering when it comes to sound, but we need to do this right now. How do we actually get some of our older congregation members have asked us, how can we hear hymns again? Gosh, yes, I really would love for you to hear hymns again. And so we're figuring that out. Now, if this is kind of you and you're pushing yourself and you're listening more to the oughts, shoulds, musts in your brain and those gremlins are going around and around, can I suggest that you have a bit of an unhurried morning? You push back against those spaces that are caving in on you right now, that you actually maybe even consider postponing meetings, doing some of your meetings not via Zoom, maybe via telephone. Think about some ways that you can actually have an unhurried start to your day and potentially just an unhurried pace. Time for me to get tucked into my breakfast. See you later.